Welcome to View from the Pew, South Carolina. We are taping here live at the Scott's Grand Corporate Center, 5060 Dorchester Road in Charleston, South Carolina, where the proprietor is Regina Scott Saunders. And I'd just like to mention our sponsor, one of our sponsors, which is Pastor Petit Parish from the Second Chance Ministries on Vidalia, on Vidalia Road, 2006 Vidalia Road in Greensboro, North Carolina. We thank Pastor Petit Parish and the members of the Second Chance Ministries. And
our next sponsor is Ms. Quaisha Bolden of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Quaisha is the owner and founder of Bold Cosmetics. She has a makeup artist. She's done all of our makeup for the show, and she's done such an awesome job. Yes. She's taking so much time out for us. But Quaisha can be reached at www.myboldcosmetics.com. Again, that's Quaisha Bolden of Bold Cosmetics. She can be reached at www.myboldcosmetics.com.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very interesting show for you. And we are going to be discussing among ourselves View from the Pew, cast to South Carolina. And I want Phyllis Cunningham to tell us what our topic is, and she's going to lead us into it.
It's conflicts of relationships and marriage in ministry. Ooh. Yeah. Everybody can say, ooh.
Bow your heads in prayer.
When you have a calling in the ministry, and we know that Jesus, he knows all of the issues in the family before he even called us. And we spoke before, and we said that before we were formed in the womb, God chose us. So he knew what conflicts and issues that we would face in marriage. But he still called us. He still called us. And it's up to us to decide. We can't lose our focus when we have challenges that come. Who is most important? And that's a big one. Who is most important? Is it pleasing my mate? Because not necessarily, we're talking about relationships, it's not necessarily marriage. Is it pleasing my mate, or is it pleasing God? Now, I would say that it's pleasing God in your relationship. Because first of all, he said, how can two walk together unless they agree? So the Lord knew that he would, because he said, if you are unequally yoked, something's going to happen with that. You know, you're from Catholic and I'm from Baptist, and I'll just be personal. I was from Holiness, and my husband was from Baptist, and we didn't discuss this before we got into marriage. So that's the first thing. We have to first be on the same common ground. We're going to have to say we're going to put God first. You know, somebody said just keep the crust and take out the cherries. You keep your apples, but we're going to keep God first. You know, and if your main focus is pleasing God, and my main focus is pleasing God, there is going to come a meeting of the minds.
Yes, it will.
It may be hard to come by, but there is going to come a meeting of the minds. So we may have to fast, may have to pray, we may have to do some sacrificing, we may have to sacrifice some things we desire and put self in the back seat because it's all about Christ.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, it's I find that it's difficult or it's different whenever you are married and you're not in the ministry, and as the marriage goes on, then you go into the ministry. And then your life changes because the life has changed in the relationship. Now, does anyone wants to address that? Does anyone
I can do that. Yeah. I want to speak to that because my situation was somewhat like that, and it's not a secret. I testify about it all the time,
Right.
you know. And I thank God that, you know, today my husband and I we celebrated. You know, we've been together 28 years. So
Wow.
it's a blessing. And if you really, you know, when you talk about those minds meeting, if you really, it takes humility. You know what I'm saying? Because love is not an
Imitate.
emotion; it's
That's
a
right.
choice that you make. And so, for us, we both knew we were called to the ministry. You know what I'm saying? But I really was not doing ministry when we got married.
Right, right.
He was doing all the preaching. I'm carrying his bag. That's all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to be a wife and have children. That was it. You
Right,
know?
right, right.
And you know, I used to really just weep over, okay, God, you telling me I'm going to do ministry. I don't want to do that. How am I going to do that? You know? And so as time progressed, and you know, I began to do things in the ministry, and God began to open doors, and you know, and people following me that I didn't know was following me, you
Right,
know,
right.
and you know, so there came, you know, friction in that, you know what I'm saying, because I was always the one carrying the bag,
Right.
you know what I mean, and so we had to make that adjustment, even though there was that knowledge ahead of time that he knew that, you know, I was going to do ministry, because, you know, we believe that God speaks, you know,
Right.
and so as time progressed, then, you know, my husband had a change in his faith, and what he believed, and so now, you know, we had to go through a change where he didn't believe in women preachers, didn't
Oh,
believe in a lot of
yeah.
the things
Yeah,
that
I
we
went
had
through that
initially
too.
believed in. And
Yes.
so we had to go through that and figure out how to navigate through that.
Right.
How do you get through that when you don't know anybody else has gone through
That
that?
mindset.
You know what I'm saying? And you have a
Yes.
ministry.
That's right.
And you have people following you. And at one point it looked like, you know, things was blowing up. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
like, and I don't mean blowing up like blowing up, like
Right.
blowing up. I'm talking about like the bridges like blew up.
Right.
you know?
Right,
And
right,
so we had to really, you know, we spent time separated, you know, but if you listen to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Now we say God is speaking to us.
Right.
When God is speaking to you, he's going to tell you about you too. You know what I'm saying? And so
Amen.
you have to take that time to humble yourself and hear what God is saying.
saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And so
right.
there was a time where, while we were separated, I didn't want to go back home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that meant that you have to make concessions.
Right.
You know,
You gotta cook.
and Paul talks about that. When you married, you care about them things that pertain to your spouse.
Right, that's
Everything
right.
is not Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Right.
So you have to be able to humble yourself. It is a choice that you make to humble yourself.
Right.
It's not speaking in tongues. It's not rolling in the floor. It's be quiet. Learn how to say sorry.
Thank you.
Deal with some things you may not like.
Thank you.
And just
yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Come together.
Exactly. We have to come together. We have to come together.
Indeed.
We're going to take a short break because I don't want us to start and then have to
Yes.
stop and then go to break and then come back. But we're talking today about the conflicts in relationships and marriage in ministry.
Ministry.
And we will be right back.
Hey travelers, everybody wants cheap airfares, but where can you find them? You call Smart Fares. Our prices are direct from the airlines and they're so low they're not published anywhere. Smart Fares specializes in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rentals, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, Smart Fares can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call us right now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these low rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the lowest rates available. So don't wait. Call Smart Fares right now for the best price guaranteed. Save up to 50% off business and first class. We've got great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 800-477-0945. That's 800-477-0945. 800-477-0945.
And welcome back to View from the Pew, South Carolina. We are talking today about conflicts of relationships in marriage and in ministry, or in marriage in ministry. And it has been a heated topic, very much so. And I want to get I think I want to get the singles take on marriage, on being single and dating or trying to date in ministry, because I'm single, I'm divorced, My marriage did not survive
I'm
ministry,
separated.
and she's separated. Those two
pastors.
down there are married, and I know you're single.
Right.
So and you pastor,
Yeah.
being single. So you're a single woman pastoring a church. So give us the 3-minute version.
Wow.
I don't know if you can wrap it all
It's a
up in
lot.
3 minutes,
Yeah.
but just a common thing that is basically happening in all ministries. It's just not within my ministry, but being single as a pastor, you really have to know where the boundaries, where the lines are, and I do believe that there is something called Christian dating. I have not dated a whole lot, but in the last few years, I have dated, and I really did not like some of the facts of things that happen, and just trying to get to know part. You know, how can two walk together unless they agree? I know that if, you know, the Lord has blessed and anointed me, and I've been in this walk this long, and 10 years basically, that I'm just not going to just give it up on a brim.
Right.
Like I said, I've dated a few times, or either attempted, I would say attempt to have dated, and most times, even with some single pastors themselves as males, don't want to truly honor up to what they're supposed to be. And then you have some that the conflict comes in, it feels like you're in competition. And then when you try to date somebody that may not have the same calling, or outside that's not a pastor, they typically sometimes don't understand where you're coming from, because they want to engage in things you just know that's not going to be there, because you know it's just not a God thing, or it can lead you or put you in a position to have to make a choice you don't want to have to make. So when you see that coming, you got to kind of like pull back. But I do believe that there is some great ones out there.
Okay.
And it's just,
Is it really?
I still yet believe. I still have the faith and believe it. I do. And and the thing about being single, sometimes you have to get out there, and I don't do enough of that. Far as having things outside, because I don't have time. I don't have time for the socializing. I don't have time for the outside engagement.
That's right.
And because I'm single, I don't usually engage in things that I know that's just not on purpose. I just do anything that's not on purpose. If it's not on purpose, and if I know it's not going to be a benefit, I just stay away from it.
Don't have time to waste.
Don't have time to waste.
Apostle?
Oh my, oh my.
She's married. Okay.
I'm married, so but you know, being in ministry and married, and my husband and I are in ministry, I believe it's been a journey. It's been a journey of learning. For the Bible declares that wisdom she buildeth her house. She buildeth her house, but a fool teareth it down with her hands. And so a lot of times as women in ministry, because we are so equipped, the Bible refers to wisdom as a she. And the Bible says also that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And he obtaineth favor of the Lord. But now what is that wife? It's not talking about, it just said he. That's in general. That's in general. So wife is wisdom. He that findeth wisdom. He that findeth wisdom findeth a good thing, and he obtaineth favor of the Lord. So if you can find a woman of wisdom,
Come on now. Come on now.
if we as a woman, what we must learn, what in this hour, we must understand that though we have come together in two flesh, we must understand the process of being equipped into one spirit. And that's where the conflict comes in. We thinking this is about ministry. It's not about any of that. It's about becoming one spirit and trying to find that spirit, that man that you have come out of, that will allow you to get back inside of him. Oh my God. And so I can say to the single women, so I can say to the single
That's
women,
serious.
Yes,
the
it
reason
is.
why you can't find him yet because he's still asleep.
All right.
He's still sleeping.
Oh, Lord.
They're still sleeping.
Oh, Lord.
And when you come together in marriage, we must understand that there is a process of being one spirit.
Yeah.
That's where you go through your likes and dislikes.
That's right.
I don't like it this way. I don't like it that
Right,
way. You're becoming one spirit.
Right,
And becoming
right.
one spirit is not easy.
Not
because the enemy knows that God honors marriage.
Yes, he does.
does.
He knows
does.
that.
Yes, he
And
does.
so he wants there to be
Yes,
conflict in the
right.
home.
Yes, he does.
He
Yes,
wants
he
there to
does.
be conflict in the
That's right.
ministry.
Yes, he
He
does.
wants it to be conflict.
That's
Because
right.
he knows if you ever get together
Oh.
and that woman ever get back inside the man, if she get inside of him,
It's a powerful thing. That's why it takes, but it takes two people.
It takes
now, if
two.
you got one pulling this way and one pulling that
You
way,
have to
you
allow it.
realize that it's power
That's a
in that
problem.
unit.
That's a
But if you
problem.
have someone that does not realize
Realize
that
that.
there's power in that
Right.
unit,
Yes.
you
Be
got
on one
half
accord.
of it,
Yes.
and half of it is not going to work.
I
You
agree.
got to have the whole.
The
You know?
whole.
But I'll say
On the
this.
same accord.
Because of how we've been created by God, we're so unique. Wisdom said that she lied on the breast of God. She lied on her shoulders even before the earth was created, the heavens was created. She was there. She said, I was there.
I was there.
So when God decides, said, we're going to make a woman, and our, let us make this one, man needs a help meet. Really, we must understand that we're not a mate to anybody.
Right.
Animals have mates.
That's right. That's right.
But we are help meet.
Right.
So
right,
you
right.
are the wisdom to the man.
Right.
So then what we must begin to do is begin to use our wisdom, the spirit of wisdom.
Yes.
I'm not talking about our intellect.
Right.
The spirit of wisdom that God wants us to use. Because there is a spirit of wisdom, spirit of knowledge, spirit of understanding that the woman possesses, and she don't even know that she has it.
Wow.
She has the thing that will create a man all over again.
Yeah.
Glory be to God.
And makes him whole.
And
Yeah,
make
makes
him
that
whole.
laugh.
And
And
the-
makes him whole.
Make
That's-
him whole.
That's
In
the
Jesus'
operative
name.
word. That's the operative word. We're gonna end the segment on that one, and we're gonna come right back. We're going to have a special selection from Miss Tawana Hughes, and she's going to come back and sing in this last segment. So don't you go nowhere. Stay right there. Don't mess it up.
Every year in the United States, 50,000 people die, and 230,000 people are hospitalized and survive their catastrophic injuries caused by trucking accidents, motor vehicle, or motorcycle accidents, and other life-altering events. If you or a family member has suffered a catastrophic injury or has died after being involved in an accident caused by others, call Catastrophic Injury Justice today. Our network of top trial attorneys are ready to fight for you.
Please call 800-593-1204.
And welcome back to View from the Pew, South Carolina. You have been joining us today in our topic, conflicts of relationship and marriage in ministry. We thank you so much. Be sure to go to ptwwntv.com to watch our show. And we will be joining you again right here for View from the Pew, South Carolina. Now we're going to bring up gospel recording artist Tawana Hughes Thomas singing Promise.
Yay.
Here we are together, making memories, hearts intertwined, loving so selflessly, the way that you sacrifice. Morning kisses are sweet, breathe your life into me. Like the feet, you're my gravity. Oh, promise to love me. Promise to hold me tight. Promise to never let go. Living in the moment, fulfilling our dreams as we become one. Love is our destiny. This journey has just begun. You're the beat to my heart and the life of my soul. Fate has brought us together and it clearly shows. Promise to love me. Promise to hold me tight. Promise to never let go. The heavens brought us together forever. I will love you forever, forever, forever long. Promise to love me. Promise to hold me. Promise to never, never let go. No, no. Promise to love me forever. Promise to never let go. Promise, promise, promise to never let go. Promise, 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 forever, forever, promise to love me, promise to hold me, promise to never let go. Promise. Thank you.
Do you struggle and strain to reach high places, behind the couch, or in small, tight spaces? Well, not anymore. Introducing Grab It, the ingenious new tool that grabs where you can't reach. Other products only grip when you squeeze, then let go right away. But Grab It has locking ratchet action. Even after you let go, Grab It holds on tight, so there's no more sore hands from holding on. Just turn it on, and it does the holding so you don't have to. Grab It's locking ratchet action is so strong, you can easily pick up this 5-pound bag of flour. Plus, it's super precise. It'll even grab this thin dime with ease, or quickly change a light bulb without using a ladder. Amazing! It's so easy. Now you can grab it way up high, or grab it low. Grab It helps out wherever you go. The grabbing fingers rotate 90 degrees, so Grab It can squeeze into the tightest areas and help retrieve lost items. Plus, the soft rubber tips hold and grip so nothing slips. No more shaky step stools. Now use the highest shelf without leaving the ground. So next time a shoe is hiding under the bed, ratchet and grab it. Need that paint can high on a shelf? Ratchet and grab it. Even hang plants in high places and retrieve the kids' toys from tight spaces. Plus, it's great for outdoor cleanups. The folding design stores easily. Then with just a click, you can reach under and grab it quick. Don't pay $40 for grabbers that can't ratchet. Get your Grab It with locking ratchet action today for just $19.99. But wait, call now and get a bonus deluxe upgrade with LED light to grab items from dark spaces, a built-in magnet that picks up dropped keys, and a hook that's great for jewelry. Plus, call right now and get a second deluxe Grab It. Just pay separate processing and handling. Get Grab It today for just $19.99. Call now.
To order Grab It for $19.99 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-218-9392. Order now and receive a second Grab It free. Just pay separate processing and handling. So call 1-800-218-9392 or order online at grabitoffer.com.